Hi everyone, welcome to Infinite Women. I'm Allison Tyra, and today we're talking about the first scientist. Now, Mary Somerville was not the first person to do science by any means, but the term was reputedly invented to describe her because she was working across multiple different fields, and they couldn't call her a man of science. Born in 1780, Mary Somerville was interested in math from her early teens, but her father worried that the strain of abstract thought would injure the tender female frame. After she married her first husband at the age of 24, she discovered that he neither understood nor supported her studies. Somerville would later comment, "He had a very low opinion of the capacity of my sex, and had neither knowledge of nor interest in science of any kind." Fortunately, he died within a few years, and Somerville built up a network of intellectuals who shared and encouraged her passions, as did her second husband, whom she married in 1812. Although she was studying ravenously, corresponding with her extensive community, and expanding her interests to include everything from botany to astronomy to geology, she didn't publish her first paper until 1826 in the Proceedings of the Royal Society, titled "The Magnetic Properties of the Violet Rays of the Solar Spectrum." The following year, she was asked to translate Pierre-Simon Laplace's Mécanique Céleste, but she went far beyond a simple translation, explaining in detail Laplace's mathematics, unfamiliar to English mathematicians at the time. Published in 1831, it was both widely praised and an immediate bestseller. Her The Connection of the Physical Sciences, originally published in 1834, was popular enough to go through multiple editions, and in the sixth of these, published in 1842, she hypothesized the existence of a planet past Uranus, which would later lead John Couch Adams to discover Neptune. As recounted in Renee Berglund's Maria Mitchell and the Sexing of Science, in 1834 the Cambridge Don William Wheel wrote a complimentary article about Mary Somerville, a Scottish researcher whose erudite books brought together previously disparate fields of mathematics, astronomy, geology, chemistry, and physics so clearly that the text became the backbone of Cambridge University's first science curriculum. He called Somerville a scientist, in part because man of science seemed inappropriate for a woman, but more significantly because Somerville's work was interdisciplinary. She was no mere astronomer, physicist, or chemist, but a visionary thinker who articulated the connections among the various branches of inquiry. According to Somerville's biographer, Catherine Neely, Wheel's coinage of the word scientist was not meant to be merely a gender-neutral term. Wheel wanted a word that actively celebrated, quote, "the peculiar illumination of the female mind," the ability to synthesize separate fields into a single discipline. 1834 was also the year that Somerville would meet Ada Lovelace and begin mentoring this fellow mathematician who would go on to become the world's first computer programmer. The following year, she was elected to the Royal Astronomical Society. In recognition of her contributions, she was awarded a civil pension by the British government during this time of £200 per year, which later increased to £300. Somerville's most successful text, 1848's Physical Geography, was used in schools and universities until the early 1900s. Several years after her death in 1872, Somerville College in Oxford was named for her in 1879, in honor of her advocacy for women's education. Her entry in the Dictionary of National Biography, 1897, proclaimed, "Her grasp of scientific truth in all branches of knowledge, combined with an exceptional power of exposition, made her the most remarkable woman of her generation." So really, we should be calling all the guys male scientists. and you can read more about Somerville in her entry on the Infinite Women site, which I'll link in the description. Join us next time on Infinite Women, and remember, well-behaved women rarely make history.